Hello everybody, right, so just a really quick one now just on the whole situation with altcoins, alright? So there's a lot of information that makes no sense really when you go on things like Twitter and this, that and the other. There's a few things you've got to look at really. The first thing is that Bitcoin dominance, which is still pretty high, and it's actually higher now than it was last week despite the fall of Bitcoin's price. So don't be fooled into thinking that when Bitcoin falls that altcoins go up. It's not how it's going to go. This is how it's going to go, and this is why. Okay, so this is the entire crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin, alright? So what happens is we've been falling down ever so, and you don't need this chat to tell you that, altcoins have been completely annihilated for a long time now because of Bitcoin dominance and because of this chart here. So what we need to see is a reversal in the Bitcoin dominance, but putting that aside, okay, this chart is going to tell us when there's going to be a bounce, roughly speaking, and if that bounce is going to be valid. So we've got two areas of support that we're looking to test, and there's one thing to bear in mind. We have this death cross here, and there's a death cross on the daily, which generally means 35% retracement. As a rule of thumb, 35% retracement. Okay, so from there to there, we have had currently 25% from that area there. So we might be lucky and get away with a bounce on this one here, and that would look like it's wanting to play out ever so slightly as where we are right now. But on the chance that we break beneath there, and we might, but this one looks strong, so we've had a decent bounce there, we had tests here, tests there, and then gradual uptake, but also we had a golden cross which helped a lot there. Now we don't have a golden cross at the moment, we've got quite the opposite, so I would say that we're probably going to find a little bounce here, but this could break, and if this breaks, this means bad news for us, because the next layer of support that we've got is down at this guy here. So from death cross to that lower level of support, that's 38%, and that makes a little more sense as to where altcoin, as to the reaction after a daily death cross. So I would say to you all that we should all be a little bit more wary about people calling for alt seasons and people saying pick up coins at this price now. I'm not entirely convinced that buying any altcoins at this level right now across the board is where we are. Bitcoin is still looking to retrace, and because of that it will pull altcoin value down even further. And I know when you're looking at the altcoins now and you can see them going towards 3 times halved really. I mean we're looking at incredible lows really. We're looking at new lows for a lot of these guys, new lows for the year. So I know it seems crazy for people to think, well, I can't go any further than it is now. It can, believe me, it can, and this is the reason why. Now this chart incorporates every single altcoin, so good coins, bad coins, and middle coin, every single coin apart from Bitcoin. Okay, so some coins will do okay, and some coins might not fall 40%. Some coins might actually sort of increase in their value. But generally across the board, the market cap of all altcoins is looking to continue to retrace. We'll find little bounces now, so this still says that there's probably a little further to go before we find a bounce. And if we are lucky, we'll bounce from this area now, and we could perhaps maybe say that we have found our bottom. But if this breaks now, then we've got another, well, I mean, what is this? How far is that from there to there? Another 20% left to go. And actually, the way I look at Bitcoin is that Bitcoin looks like it's got another 20% left to go on a worst case scenario. So let's not fool ourselves into thinking that these prices now are very attractive. I mean, they are, and it depends where you want to be, how you want to be playing it. If you're in it for the long run, then fine. Yeah, they are attractive prices. Feel free to buy them if that's what you want. I mean, I'm not your financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. So if you want to pick them up this area and hold them for a year or more, then I'm sure you'll do okay. Depending on what you've bought, obviously. But if you really want to be careful, then we want to see how this area holds here. And if we do find a bounce from here and we see a constructive change in trend, then great. And we need to see this area here recross. We need to see this green go above this white to signify a golden cross. And then at that point, I would be bullish on altcoins altogether across the board. But at the moment, I'm bearish, and this is why we've got death cross. We're testing lower support, and we're likely to break because you know, that's not a far enough dip as a result of a death cross. And we've got Bitcoin, which is dominant, which is still retracing itself. So I would probably say that the pain is still going to play out across the board and bring us down to this level here. And it's only when we find that level there, or maybe even lower, but probably about this area, that we will start to see a change in trend, and we can be bullish on altcoins again. So yeah, like I say, do your own research, and it's really hard to do research on this because there's a lot of people that just are way too over optimistic on this market, and for no real reason either. I mean, you've got to look at the charts, you've got to look at the evidence, you've got to look at what's happened so far in the market in general. I mean, the market it took off huge, it went massive. I mean, it's just gone crazy. So it's only right that people, you know, the reason it's going down, people are taking their profits, people are putting their profits into Bitcoin, and now they're taking their profits. So there's all kinds of reasons for it to be going down, and it will continue to go down until we see a reversal in trend. Maybe here, but probably down here. That's my expectation. When we look at the MACD, it doesn't look healthy at all. It wants to come down. So yeah, I think over time we're going to find this area break down, and then find our way there. And I would only say that we're looking to change the situation with altcoins when this reverses, and we look like we're likely to get a golden cross again. We might get a golden cross sooner than you think, because we had a death cross over here, you see, and this is a different scenario. Obviously, this is the end of the last bull market, so we had our death cross here, and you know, the death cross peaked, and then we had another golden cross signifying this big move here, but then, you know, retracement down, and you can see that the MACD sort of called it quite well there, and yeah, we came down. We've been coming down ever since. So, you know, this move is, yeah, it's natural for something like this, but I don't think we're going to see a repeat of that. I still think we've got a little further to go back down to this area before we find our bounce, and maybe by the end of the year we will find our golden cross and start next year with a bit more of a bigger move. Anyway, keep watching. Obviously, I'll update you as to what's going on and my take on the situation, and I hope you all have a nice day, nice weekend, and yeah, take it easy.